Welcome to This Explainer. We are jumping right in today because we're looking at a hidden yet absolutely vital space in the modern supply chain. We usually think of logistics as either a highway packed with fast moving trucks or these massive robotic warehouses, right? But there is a silent, invisible engine sitting literally right between those two worlds. It's an area that can either make your supply chain hum beautifully or just grind it to a frustrating halt. And by the time we wrap up here, you'll see exactly why choreographing this specific space is the absolute secret to modern logistics. To get us started, I want you to take a guess. What is the most expensive part of a delivery route? Think about it. Is it the fuel burned driving across the country? Is it highway tolls? Maybe just the wear and tear on the trucks? It's actually a super common misconception that transit out on the open highway is the hardest or the costliest part of the journey. But no way. That's actually not the case at all. The real answer? It's the time after a truck arrives at a site, but before the freight actually reaches the dock. Just imagine it for a second. You've got a driver pulling in and just waiting for instructions. A trailer parked quietly in the totally wrong row. A loading crew inside losing all their momentum because they're waiting on a box that is technically just a few hundred feet away in the parking lot. This quiet drift of waiting drivers and misplaced trailers, it's a massive, massive hidden cost center. And that brings us to the core focus of our explainer today, yard management. Formally, it's the coordination of trucks, trailers, drivers, gates, dock doors, staging lanes, and pretty much all site movements around a facility. Now look, I'll be the first to admit managing the yard isn't exactly the most glamorous job in the supply chain, but it is the absolutely crucial discipline that keeps your practical logistics promises intact. It literally decides whether your freight flows seamlessly or just stalls out completely. Honestly, the best way to think about this space is like an air traffic control zone for road freight. Picture a busy beverage plant on a really hot Friday. You've got empty trailers needed for outbound loads, inbound ingredients arriving at the exact same time, maybe even a maintenance contractor needing gate access. Moving vehicles in the yard is really about protecting the tempo of that entire operation. Without clear rules, timing, and signals, you don't have a transport problem, you have a choreography problem. Section 1. Two different worlds. The translation gap. So why does this choreography fail in the first place? Well, this brilliantly illustrates the issue. The yard sits right between two operational systems that run on entirely different logic. On one side, we have the transport teams. They think and speak in terms of routes, departure times, and arrival windows. Now look at the other side, the warehouse teams. Their whole language is about labor, dock doors, picking waves, and forklifts. The yard is this middle zone that has to act as the universal translator between these two very different worlds. It takes the inbound truck and translates it into an actionable dock schedule for the forklift driver inside. Moving on to Section 2, the cost of chaos, when small frictions travel fast. When that translation we just talked about is weak or just completely fails, chaos happens. A truck might be technically on time for the transport team, but practically late for the warehouse team. Let's trace how these cascading effects actually play out. Take a look at the top row here. A driver enters late. That's what happens outside. Inside, the dock plan has to change to compensate. And what does the business feel? Increased overtime costs. Ouch. Or check out the second row. An unclear trailer status outside means the loading team is just standing around waiting inside, which means lower total throughput for the entire day. Basically, a simple little delay outside morphs into a massive headache inside. All these breakdowns, they create massive hidden costs. We're talking carrier charges shooting up through detention and demurrage fees, labor costs spiking because dock teams are idle or rocking up overtime. Service obviously takes a hit with late deliveries. Safety risks go way up because rush drivers are reversing and maneuvering under high pressure. And of course, energy gets wasted through idling engines and completely unnecessary vehicle movements. The problem might physically sit outside the building, but make no mistake, the bill is absolutely paid inside. Which brings us to Section 3, choreographing the flow, structuring the decisions. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, a good yard management process feels calm. Not because there aren't problems, right? But because the decisions are structured, literally minute by minute. It all kicks off at the gate. That's your first operational handshake. A rock-solid arrival process completely removes the guesswork. Step 1, digital check-in. Step 2, confirming appointments and safety rules automatically. Step 3, handing the driver crystal clear routing instructions. This stops the gate from being some manual, time-sucking interview and instantly connects the driver's entry directly to the logistics teams inside. Now, once they're past the gate, we have to deal with the trailers themselves. Look at this question. Is the trailer empty, sealed, staged, loaded, rejected, inspected, urgent, or just totally forgotten? The absolutely crucial point here is that a trailer isn't just a box on wheels. The biggest danger in a yard isn't always a physically missing asset. Actually, it's an asset that you can see sitting right there, but its operational status is completely wrong or completely unknown. But when you combine digital gates with clear trailer statuses, you start to see the magic happen: the removal of repeated waste. And notice, efficiency here isn't about rushing people or forcing drivers to drive faster. It's really about removing the mundane, ordinary waste. It's shaving off 10 minutes at entry. It's eliminating the 20 minutes a supervisor spends walking outside in the rain just to verify a live door status. It's all about shared updates across teams, so there are way fewer of those unplanned, frustrating pauses. Section 4. Technology and the future. The missing control layer. We are rapidly moving toward a future where a yard management system isn't just a niche tool, but a central control layer for logistics. Real-time tracking turns the outside space from memory-based work into fact-based work. Think about it. Without structure, the outside of a facility is just a network of rumors. Someone thinks a truck arrived. Someone else assumes door number 4 is open. By integrating arrival data, dock planning, and trailer tracking into one single system, you stop the rumor mill cold. You build total confidence through shared, visible facts. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the macro scale of all this. According to a 2025 report by the World Economic Forum and McKinsey & Company, freight logistics accounts for 7 to 8% of all global greenhouse gas emissions. 7 to 8%. That is a staggering slice of the global pie, and it's driven largely by inefficiencies, idling trucks, and just poor coordination. But listen, there is a massive opportunity here. That same report estimated that AI-enabled logistics improvements, things like better routing, smarter capacity use, and yes, intelligent yard management, could reduce that massive freight carbon footprint by 10 to 15%. By just getting smarter about how we choreograph the yard and the assets moving through it, the positive environmental impact is absolutely huge. And honestly, getting smarter is no longer optional. Modern site complexities are only growing. Logistics networks are becoming way less forgiving. A single yard today has to handle full truckloads, fast-moving parcels, massive containers, messy returns, outside contractors, and maintenance teams, all sharing the exact same gates and the exact same doors on the exact same day. It's a lot to juggle. Ultimately, the role of yard management isn't just to make the asphalt outside a warehouse look neat and tidy. It's to protect the rhythm of the business so freight moves with less drama, people waste way fewer steps, and customers hear fewer excuses. So I want to leave you with a provocative thought today. Take a look at the unglamorous, invisible engines in your own supply chain. What are the quiet spaces in your operations really costing you? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this gave you a whole new perspective on choreographing the flow.